from Spyro 2. Spyro Reignited. Water theme. Will it sound like water? Aquaria Towers. You know what I mean? With like, where like that part, the section before really sounded like it was kind of like a lot of clashing notes. Pretty strange. But I don't know. That makes me feel uneasy. Like when I hear that, I feel like, oh my God, do I have something else open at the same time? Is the stream open and also playing at the same time? Anyways, it does definitely sound watery. It's kind of got these like a bit of a waver on the chords that go over top of it. And there's a lot of nice reverb and kind of like kind of like drip droppy sounds. I think it works pretty well for a water theme. It's a really fun water theme, like kind of tropical, sunny, dashing through the water. The water is your friend. This game is so good. BOF 4 as well. Kuniv. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Very nice. Great opening track. Thank you very much, Spyro. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I love hearing that guitar. That's so 90s, that like industrial kind of guitar. That's nice. All right, this next one, we're going to be hearing a lot of this from SpongeBob. This is a level theme of Dungeons and Dragons. Wow. I love that one note. That's just like an elephant. That one. Yeah, it just sounds like a really long elephant note they just jam in there. There's an alien circus. That's a good way to put it. It does have like a bit of a medieval theme, but there's so many weird instruments in there, just from everything. I mean, there's a penny whistle going through. There's steel drums are like the main backbone. The scale is of like a not old timey, like middle-aged British fair, like where one alleged emperor's great grandparents met. Very interesting. I mean, it's SpongeBob, so I expected it to be sort of like cartoony and wacky. But I think they made a pretty musical version of being super wacky. All right, this next one is called Seaside Vacation. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Are you ready for a job of rim? I guess it kind of has, it kind of sounds like you're, like somebody said, introducing an anime show, Claudio said. Like a bunch of, or the end of an anime season when someone's getting married around a beach front or something, around some, I feel like this is a bunch of rich people, rich young kids, rich young spoiled kids, going to a private school, and they're having their summer fun, and their summer drama, and their trials and tribulations, like, how am I going to invest all this money I'm inheriting? Yeah, I know it was. Oh, you guys don't like when things go out of order, eh? There's no supposed to be. Lena puts the tracks in a playlist, and I can play them how I wish. He always puts his tracks first. You can't have that. So that's why I mixed up the order. I thought it was very transparent. Yeah. I don't normally really like these tracks with the like incredibly wordy Japanese story time. It's almost like a folk song, but I like some of the bass and some of the musicality behind it. Pretty professional. Ooh, this part's pretty good. Just dripping with the wind chime. All right, interesting. Next up, this is from Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, Swamp Palace. It's a really strange track because on the left channel, if you just were listening to the left channel, it would actually be really happy and beautiful. But there's this thing in the right channel that's going that's completely out of key with the rest of the song. And I guess it's because you're in a swamp palace. I think that's such a risky effect to do because you're trying to make people feel uneasy, but it's just like kind of flat out unlistenable for a long period of time. And if you were in a palace for a long time, so does that mean that you've got to spend... I mean, Zelda dungeons can take a while. Maybe, like, do you have to spend, what, like 2 hours listening to this? Whereas you have this incredibly gorgeous track on this side. What a strange choice. I know it's a swamp and it's supposed to be kind of evil, but what a weird choice to make it so clashing. And very interesting that in this water theme week, we've seen this is like the third track we've had that has had that clashing notes, using it to sort of to tell the story of water. Really strange. There is that whole idea of like going underwater and it being a different world, right? Yeah, 3DS speakers, they probably do left and right. You remember it being a problem? Especially when it goes to this section here and it changes key even further away. Drives me nuts. Alright, next up, this is from Final Fantasy V. This is called Beyond the Deep Blue Sea. Yes, it is. Track. I'm assuming that's Nobuo Uematsu again. Final Fantasy V. Man, those two notes that he has doing the arpeggio on the left channel, they sound so watery in the way that they stay close together, the way that they kind of feel like they're sort of bubbling up and down. It just really feels like you're underwater and you're seeing different like bubbles and creatures kind of going up and down all around you. There's a lot of shimmering, there's a lot of echo that kind of trails off. Everything just feels blue. Like you've actually evoked a color within this. Like you're looking at a fish using a large underwater window while having a conversation. Yeah. Glug glug. Gorgeous. That was from Final Fantasy V. Uematsu, you've done it again. Kingdom Hearts 3. Anti-Aqua. Every time I see the name Kingdom Hearts and I see a picture of the ridiculous looking characters, the ugly looking characters, I think it's their eyes. It's their eyes I really don't like. It's that new kind of cheap way of doing the design. I think, oh no, but then I realize it's probably, the music's probably going to be good. The music's almost always good. Here we go. Anti-Aqua. really getting the water theme other than the name being Aqua. Yeah, I find this character really ugly looking. I find it's the eyes. It's more the style of CGI or graphics or however they're doing it. It reminds me of like the way cartoons transitioned, where they're like a little bit of the newer technology where they don't really have much of a soul. The face is very flat and kind of bland. The hair kind of looks like they're made from all these different pieces. The eyes, the hair, the face, the clothes look like they're from 4 different games and 4 different characters to me. And it's like you just kind of mix and matched it. You know, like if this was in a create a character suite, I'd think, oh, it's kind of interesting. Look what you can do. You can create this kind of stuff on your own. But yeah, I think it just looks really... And also doesn't look like a real person. It looks like a sex doll or something. Really like plastic and odd looking. For me. Is this a male or female or both? What is this? What's going on here? It's a girl? Okay. Well, it's a drawing. It's a creation. So, yeah, it is still an it. I'm trying to get to you. I don't know. I don't really like... I hate that style. It kind of reminds me of that, like, the Star Wars Rebels cartoon style they do. I think BS is one of the best titles for Kingdom Hearts. Lots and lots of BS. Well, I guess so from the breasts, but I would say the face is very masculine. The hair is pretty masculine. Didn't seem to me like the mouth and the flatness of the cheeks and everything. All right. What is up next? Something from Ultimate Chicken Horse. This is called Waterfall. Ah. Ooh la la. I like it. All right, that was that. That was pretty interesting. I love that. I mean, when do you ever hear that? That big use of just pause, of silence. It works really well for a surprise and for changing the mood. That was really cool. That was Waterfall from something with a really strange name, Ultimate Chicken Horse. Are you bored of regular chicken horses? Try Ultimate Chicken Horse. The next one is from SpongeBob. Lights, Camera, Pants, Music, Machine, Meltdown. A Prince track? Did more than one person pick SpongeBob tracks this week? Ooh, this is a Prince track. It's got that workout beat. That went by pretty quick. This to me sounds very late 90s, early 2000s. Very like early 2000s. It's kind of like almost like a hoedown kind of something you'd hear maybe on a harmonica and a banjo and stuff, but done in a more like industrial, slightly more like technological, synthy way. I really like this track. This is a super fun track. Lights, Camera, Paints, Music, Machine, Meltdown. Fantastic. All right, next up, Waterworld, the Kevin Costner Bomb. This is the video game's menu music from Waterworld. Yeah, I'm trying to guess. Like, it definitely has a Super Nintendo vibe, but it sounds more high-tech than that. So it's either like a remastered version of a Super Nintendo track, or it's on a PlayStation, which uses Sony made the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation sound chip. So some simulators, or maybe like on a DS, maybe, or 3DS. But Waterworld came out in what, 1995? So it could have been on a PlayStation. Most likely on a Super Nintendo. If this is like the untouched Super Nintendo files, I'm so impressed. But I don't think so. Those drum samples don't sound... Well, yeah, exactly. The PlayStation can play CD audio, but... like Final Fantasy VII, the biggest PlayStation game of all time, it used the internal Sony sounds, right? The console sounds. The guitar wailing. Oh, what a beautiful representation, One-Lich. It's like this... Yeah, it definitely sounds like whales communicating with guitar underwater. On their tiny little fins. Those are my whale sounds. That was beautiful. Waterworld. Sifland's pretty great at bringing up those old 16-bit gems. All right, next up. This is from Through the Maelstrom, Leviathan's theme number 2 extended, Final Fantasy XIV. It is a bucket of water in the face. Yeah, it's really clashy. It reminds me of something you'd hear out of Final Fantasy 13 too. Pretty grindy. It definitely sounds like you went to an industrial complex of industrial music and you're about to meet the owner and the guy who's putting on the industrial festival. He's the final boss. Syncs up with the fighting in the game. Yeah, I would imagine this game just has like a really long intro for it or something. I've never actually seen the game being played before. Pretty epic. So this is all real time, right? Just with cooldowns? Pretty interesting. Alright, that was pretty fun. Next up, Terraria! All right, that was a beautiful little track. I was trying to find the 3DS version of it, but it was a little tougher to extrapolate. Terraria, 3DS OST. I love the percussion in Terraria. It's sort of like glitchy and cute. It's like little buttons. I would imagine because the 3DS makes its own... It has its own kind of sounds, but it can play this kind of stuff, right? You'd think that it could just play these whole sound files? Because the 3DS can play like orchestrated music too, right? Pretty fantastic track. Alright, let's move on to Death Stranding. This is The Endless Beach by Ludwig Forssell. Wow, that's a really nice track. Tons of reverb, big kind of mournful wailing sounds. It does sound like an empty kind of dead beach. It sounds like the water kind of coming in and out and all the crazy stuff that's happening in that game alongside that beach. Really nice track. Actually, I was wrong. This is by Ludwig Forssell. Ludwig Göransson does The Mandalorian, which is quite different. And thank you, Death Stranding. Next up, something completely different. It's from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. What a great track. So many catchy Latin type like Montunos. Everything in it is catchy. It makes such a beautiful use of what the Genesis can do well. The melody just soars along. It's such a beautiful chorus. The song is having so much fun. I feel so lucky to have grown up with music like this. Oh, that little kind of slowdown. Little triplets. And the way it ends on that kick. It goes, ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ooh. And then the way they cycle in the turnaround, just friggin' magical. But what else do you expect from Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Next up, another SpongeBob track. Is there water in the desert? Whoa. Back it up. Welcome, I dropped it. And Anthony, a mirage. Is that an ocean? So an underwater curiosity shop. I guess because it's SpongeBob, everything is underwater. But just hearing this doesn't make me really think of water. Other than it being SpongeBob. So in terms of this being on point for the theme, I subtract 4 points. It's a good track. Doesn't make me think of the water though. Maybe that kind of like... I need more gurgles. I need more waves. Yeah. Just because it's SpongeBob. It's kind of like picking a theme just because it has the word aqua in the name. And then not actually feeling like water. Next up, fishing theme from Breath of the Wild. Breath of Fire, I mean. Definitely has like a parlory game kind of feel to it with a fun kind of bouncy bass. The percussion is weird because it feels like it's starting and stopping. Like you're casting, but you're not really going anywhere. And then the sort of like vibe keys they have sound very watery and blue to me. Supermarket Casino jingle, yeah. It's the snare drum that is very sort of like cheesy supermarket. Like you're at a supermarket casino in the elevator. Breath of the Fire 3. I have not tried it. I should try it sometime. Next up is Zelda Triforce Heroes. The track is what? Rivière Normal. Ooh. French? Can't go wrong with Zelda. I don't know who was composing this. It wouldn't be Koji Kondo this time. I think this is in that later generation of Nintendo where they're cycling in new people. Such a beautiful track. A real simple arpeggio that sounds very watery, and then kind of a sad, mysterious... Well, it's almost like mysterious melody, but you're not sure whether it's a good one or bad. But then this is quite hopeful. It's like such a beautiful mix of sort of like these hopeful aspirations with kind of a longing underneath, kind of like what's above and below the water. Nice composition, good strings. They are really nice strings too, especially for something that might be on Ryo Nagamatsu is the composer for this one. Welcome, Kentucky Boy 88. I like this track. Yeah, that's how I would put it. Things above and below the surface. It's gorgeous. Has a real longing to it. Triforce Heroes. Is Triforce Heroes a typical Zelda game, or is that more like a Dynasty Warriors thing? Next up is GTA 3. We never get GTA music. GTA 3 Vice City Edition end theme. Someone chose this for our watery stuff list. Interesting. I'm so pumped to hear this. But first, a word from our sponsors. Just kidding. very synthwave, Blade Runner-y. I like those kind of like the percussion. It's the wood block, the sort of like dripping, repeated synth lines, and the way the piano kind of like drops off. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I'm saying. This, whatever part this plays over in Blade Runner would be the happiest. They leave the city and go to a beach and manage to find a part that's not covered in sewage. Even the sort of reverb and almost like slight chorus effect on the piano sounds very watery. What a beautiful track. Great job, Lena. Breath of the Wild, more Zelda. Zora's Domain. Very nice, watery theme, sort of like that piano harp. The harp has a nice kind of glug glug to it, sort of like a slight echo on it and reverb. Even the placement of the piano chords, there's not a lot of percussion in it. The only sort of movement from it is it's just this gentle arpeggio, and the way the arpeggio just kind of was almost like the tide of the water just going up, the breeze in the trees by the beach, and like just the lazy sort of feel of the way the piano was almost like dripping down like a babbling brook going over some rocks. Wonderful. That was gorgeous. Breath of the Wild, the Zoras. This is from Alliance Alive, whatever that is. very nice track. Lots of layers. Again, has some slightly clashing elements. This is Hamazu, the composer of Final Fantasy 13. He definitely has some hallmarks to his style of lots of layers, percussion that feels kind of sort of like moving forwards and backwards, like really kind of trip-hoppy, and of course like the soaring violin over top and the effects that he puts in the violin, and just like so much synth padding filling in all the notes and like really complex harmony. This is a little more like glitchy and futuristic than a lot of the stuff he was doing in Final Fantasy 13, which is why I thought maybe it was the more glitchy electronica composers they brought in alongside him in 13 too, when they wanted to have the different types of music that represent the different time periods. This is a beautiful track. I mean, he is a bloody genius, Hamazu. I love him. Next up, Super Metroid. Oh yeah, almost everything from Metroid is watery. Very sparse, like a lot of Metroid tracks. Still feels pretty watery again, like a lot of arpeggios, a lot of space, not a lot of percussion. Kind of watery sound to the tones. Very mysterious track, which we're getting a lot of this week. I always felt like the cover art never felt like Metroid to me. What are these big green dinosaur claws and this sort of red dragon with wings and a six-pack? Just always seemed odd to me. I always felt like Metroid is more like Alien, the H.R. Geiger style, since that's what they were copying in the first game. And like, you don't even really see much technology on the box. It's more of, it's this sort of like cave, as opposed to like the more, I don't know, there doesn't seem to be enough like technology in it for me to what Metroid means. Doruk Kaba 18. Were you born in 2018? The yellowy part is Kraid's body. Okay, his big old belly. Yeah, the cover is slightly exciting. It just doesn't feel like Metroid to me. Like when you think of the Metroid villains. Okay, Super Metroid bosses. Or like just a scene from the game. I guess that is actually what the bosses look like in this game. Golden statues. But when I think of Metroid, I feel like oh, salam alaikum. You know, like more of this technology, more of like a structure. This is a cave with lava and a big kind of dinosaur. I didn't realize they were fighting dinosaurs so much. So weird. There they are. Oh, definitely. That feeling of being alone. Super well done. Yeah, and he's red on the cover. He doesn't match the rest of the cover. Change it up. Metroid's one of those series I always wanted to get more into, but it kind of freaks me out. And then I get scared, and then I'm backtracking, and I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, definitely. They put the red in the box so it stands out, and it looks very like visceral and violent. Orange is orange doesn't look as threatening. Unless it's a president. Jesus Lord, another SpongeBob SquarePants tune. Here you go, get ready, buckle up, let's go. How does this sound like water? I think, Prince, you abused our rules and just put a bunch of SpongeBob in here. There's not even any water on the cover. Look at this. It's like fire and red brimstone. Need more memory in the ROM, baby. Alaikum salam. Alaikum salam. That's not it. That was totally not water-based at all. Here, I'm going to show you something that sounds watery. This is from Transistor. It's called Sandbox. Transistor, baby. From the team that brought you Bastion. What a glorious track. So, I mean, the slide guitar, the tremolo, the watery momentum to it. Definitely beach town, Hawaiian. Very Hawaiian. All right, so next week's theme is motivational or inspirational music. So, for example, things that are going to motivate you to work out, things that inspire you to be a better person, things that pick you up when you're feeling down. It is a bit open to interpretation. Now, where annoying Japanese rock might inspire Leonot, it definitely would not motivate me. That's so nice. Yeah, Death Stranding. How motivational. You know what one I would say from Death Stranding it's inspirational is I Keep Coming. For me, it would be something like SimCity 2013 is incredibly motivational, inspirational. All right, so for our high-quality YouTube recording that's going to get uploaded, goodbye.